I'm never gonna dress my way and stuff like that I can get your approval of who I am.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want it to become a new norm where my presence is not intimidating. It's not associated with every single Lil Wayne song ever created in life. Hey, bro, the amount of times I've heard that song in my name because it sounds so familiar, I just made it my theme song. I just had to accept it one day. But it's just like that's the nature of certain things. And so I think that it's really important to point those things out and to have those conversations with people to better understand them. I want to talk to my, Latino brothers and sisters that, judge each other because of how thick their accents are because, they're in America. And it's like I don't like seeing that type of thing because it's like, yo, be you.
Yeah.
Be you and have people love who you are. All right? And people will, of course, shade this and shade that. But, like, even some people don't realize how much effort they put into tweaking themselves.
Everywhere and come to America and be accepted, and you can make it in this world.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be. I mean, the reason why we're not like other countries that are homogenous, like have all the same values and same cultures and same natural or like national languages, national religions and stuff, is because we're supposed to be this just conglomeration of cultures. And that's what's supposed to be American. And I feel that now we're trying to, or not, people are trying to define what is American.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Because what is American is supposed to just be based on hard work, trying to make the best of some of the worst situations. Like, those are like the American values of equality and justice for all. Those are American values. It's nothing that has to do with a specific culture or any. It's just ideas of what is right.
Yeah.
And that's what's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be associated with a specific culture, a specific movement. It's not supposed to be associated with. It's just supposed to be fundamental values that make a good living experience.
Yeah, and it's like, why deny that doesn't exist when acknowledging that it doesn't exist can help us work to making it exist in the entirety. Like, a lot of people right now, this is a movement dedicated to eradicating racism, right? And in that movement, we have a lot of people who are denying systemic racism, who are saying that racism doesn't exist.
Or thinking that you're protesting against America itself.
Well, the fact that you think that protesting against racism is protesting against America, actually in yourself acknowledges that racism in America are in bed.
Yeah, they just as American is baseball and apple pie.
Yeah, it is also racism and police brutality. Yeah. So, in that, let's correct that issue. And even if, not every cop is brutally beating African Americans. It's like, first, there's a lot of things not caught on camera. Yeah. Second, nobody is ever saying that every single cop is doing it. But what'd you say? One bad apple?
It spoils the bunch.
Spoils the bunch.
But I saw this one thing. I was watching this one video. J. Cole was talking about, do you think all cops are bad? And the guy's like, oh, no, not all cops are bad. And J. Cole was saying that the idea of the cops is bad because of the system. There's definitely good people who want right, that go into the uniform and risk their lives every single day. There are good people, but it's just the entire system that is bad. So when people say all cops are bad, it's not so much the people, it's more so just the system that needs work. Because there's definitely lots of good cops, well-intentioned, that fall into this system of, I'm better, I'm
above the
I'm
law.
above the law. Yeah. I have no consequences. Like, actually, there's one thing. Have you ever heard of the Stanford's prison experiment?
No, I feel like I think I have. But I don't know.
So pretty much, it was this experiment or by some Stanford like psychology professor. So he got like, I think it was like 12 random college, put an ad in the newspaper saying, experiment for a week, get paid like $300. You know, college kids is like, damn, I'm broke. They just slide right in.
Facts. So
pretty much what it was is that it was mimicking like the prison experiment. So once they get in, it was like, all right, so U6, randomly U6 prisoners, U6 prison guards. So this was done at like the basement of like one of the buildings, so that it mimicked the most of like, you know, no surroundings, no whatever. And pretty much what they did, it was like, all right, you guys have absolute control. Handle your business. And it was like, you know, these are 6. I don't think they were all friends, but I mean, 6 strangers that were cops, 6 strangers that were prisoners. And pretty much what they realized was that giving people power, even like you signed up for an experiment, you know it's not real, but the experiment had to be cut short because the police, quote unquote police, began, you know, abusing the prisoners, and the prisoners started having psychological issues in this experiment, and it had to be cut short. But that just shows that even on an experimental sense, where you're literally just in the basement of, you know, a college or a college building, and it just shows that giving people absolute power, and also having other people who are, you know, demean, like, you know, they ran into, I mean, they did like, all right, all you guys go outside, strip, we're gonna search you, but all that prison stuff. But just giving people absolute power begins to corrupt them, and being under absolute power begins to deteriorate you on a psychological sense, and that's why the experiment had to be scrapped. So I think that's something that's really important now, seeing that how we have all this, regardless of race, even though it is focused on the African American community because it has been for 400 years, like, despite all that, the premise of people having absolute power, and like, you see, the police we're protesting police brutality, and the police are brutalizing us for protesting police brutality. Like, you would think that now's the time that they're going to be like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna show that I'm a good cop, and you've seen that.
Yeah.
But there's still people who are like, what the hell these kids do? Like,
yeah,
tear gas them. Like, what?
Like, they're attempting to be completely peaceful. You tear gas them. You shoot huge bullets at them.
Yo, I did not know how big those bullets are, bro.
Shits are huge.
They are huge.
And you shoot them at people, and the damage that it does to the skin, to the body, is posted on the internet.
People, they like losing
eyes busted, kneecaps busted.
Yo.
And it's at close range. You're using a gun at close range, right? And like, what happened to the taser, dog?
Yeah. And you expect people to be, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. You have a peaceful protest, introduce some tear gas, start shooting stuff, tell everybody to move, and you expect, oh, all right, kumbaya, yeah. Let's all move in. Yeah, my bad.
My fault.
My bad.
I should have. My
bad.
I should have stepped on the field. My fault.
You know, it's like, how could you even expect that? And I mean, like, all the violence that resorts from it is like, I mean, the point of a protest is to shake up whatever it is. It's to bring attention to. It's protests are not. There's no formula for a protest.
Yeah.
Well, definitely some that have been publicized and, you know, glorified have been like, you know, Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King, the peaceful way.
Glorified. Yeah, but there's also other ways of doing it.
I'm saying that the point of a protest is not to follow any sort of norm. The point is to bring attention to stuff, and change. Obviously, the change incites something different. So, people saying, "Oh well, they shouldn't protest like this," but then they shouldn't protest like you can't take a knee. But don't destroy our stuff. But protest peacefully and we'll tear gas you. Riot and we'll demonize you. It's like, okay, like what? You're not. It's not anybody's place to tell how people in pain are supposed to relieve that pain and protest. That's why I don't support the people who are just there to like capitalize off other people's pain. Like that's people who are just going into steal shoes and stuff. It's like you're capitalizing. Like I saw this one video and it's like this one dude was like stealing shoes or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, I don't even know that dude, George Floyd. I don't care. I'm about to buy these shoes." And it's like I don't. Yeah. I'm not for it because you're capitalizing off of other people's pain. But I mean, the people who are trying to do that on a different sense, that are just letting out the anger and the frustration. Like me personally, like everybody's gonna have their own way of dealing with it, and it's not my place to tell anybody else how to exactly protest because it doesn't fit what I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, as a little like insight to what King had kind of thought, he had said this on Urban Riots. I'll read a few sentences. He said, "Urban riots must now be recognized as durable social phenomena. They may be deplored, but they are there and should be understood. Urban riots are a special form of violence. They're not insurrections. The rioters are not seeking to seize territory or to attain control of institutions. They are mainly intended to shock the white community. They are a distorted form of social protest. The looting, which is their principal feature, serves many functions. It enables the most enraged and deprived Negro to take hold of consumer goods with the ease the white man does by using his purse. Often the Negro does not want what he takes. He wants the experience of taking." So even in those people who are like, yeah, they're robbing for the wrong reasons, we just want the shoes, it's you have prevented us from getting stuff on our own. We see the opportunity, and we know that in doing it, we're serving some purpose, even if we don't care for the reason, right? Those people who took the shoes, they don't care for the reason, but when we look at it as a whole, those looters are tapping into pockets and making people hear things. Target would have never released any type of statement to this movement.
Oh yeah, at least you can't say that. I mean, you could be against all the rioting, all the fires and stuff, but you can't say it did not serve its purpose to get this on front page everywhere.
Exactly. You can't say that. It was done for no reason, or they had no reason to do it. It's like at the time, right, which is only a few days ago. Like, mind you, a lot has happened within a week.
2 weeks ago.
Like, a lot has happened within 2 weeks. And within those 2 weeks, we would have thought that as we flip stuff as a bunch of celebrities are, announcing that they won't go back to shows, announcing that are getting kicked off for the words and the stuff that they used to say. It's like, you would think that will wake up the eyes of people. But no, instead, we're all thugs. And instead, when we're fighting for equality, we're fighting for something that is stupid. We're confused. The president deploys the National Guard and the military to stop us from fighting for equality. And it's like, all we have protested is justice for the people who have killed. We just want you to be tried as a human. You're not above the law.
Yeah.
If you're a police officer.
It just comes down to that. Like, in a society where, like, the president is just a man. Like, that's all he's supposed to be. This is not a kingdom. There's nobody above. Everybody's supposed to be held accountable at any stage. And I think the fundamental problem is that whether that's senators, congressmen, the president, we've built up this idea where the president, or not just the president, but all these people are above us, and